Fellas, I'm starting to dislike Ciryl Gane as a fighter and a person. Now, I'm not just a dedicated hater like Alex Pereira. I never really hated Ciryl Gane. I used to think he was one of the best prospects a couple of months ago. Well, maybe not a prospect, but one of the best fighters in the heavyweight division. He moved amazingly, but recently, the things he's been coming out with and what he's been doing in the octagon, I've just come to conclusion I don't really like him. He doesn't really put on a persona as, a trash talker or a bad person, but when you really analyse it, I'm just starting to really dislike Ciryl Gane, and I'm going to be talking about why I dislike him, first of all as a fighter, and second of all as a person, so let me know your thoughts on him. But yeah, we're going in there with the first reason, well, the first kind of thing I'm going to talk about, which is him as a fighter. I don't really like Ciryl Gane as a fighter. The first reason is that he cheats in nearly every single fight. I've noticed that when I watch back the fight, and you don't really have to watch it back either, you can literally just watch it once and then you'll see what I mean, but you watch him when he fought Taito Iwaza, when he fought Sergey Spivak, even when he fought Jon Jones, he cheats in nearly every single fight. The finish that he got to Taito Iwaza, hammer fists to the head, powerful hammer fists to the head that dropped to Iwaza and then it got stopped. Sergey Spivak, and I don't understand. By the way, Ciryl Gane's been a striker. He's been one of the best strikers in the heavyweight division. He's been doing striking for years. He's one of the best strikers. How do you not know how to finish an opponent with technical striking? He goes in there and just throws it all. The amount of back at the head shots he threw against Sergey Spivak. So many back of the head shots against Spivak, and the referees never really tell him off for it. And he does this every single fight whenever he's finished his opponent. So many back of the head shots, it's unbelievable. I'm starting to feel like he does it on purpose now. How do you do it that much? How is your accuracy that bad to say you're one of the best strikers? Even the groin shots, like what, 10 seconds into the fight and he's already got a groin shot against Jon Jones. Now, I'm not going to say that was an intentional groin shot, but I mean, come on, 10 seconds into the fight and you've already managed to land a groin shot. And he just doesn't learn from it. Even against Ngannou, multiple cage grabs as well. I'm just sick of Ciryl Gane cheating in nearly every fight. And that's Michael Chandler kind of reminds me of him as well. Michael Chandler, smearing blood onto people. I just don't like fighters that act nice and then in the octagon they're really dirty fighters. And Ciryl Gane's one of them. Maybe when he's actually, just going back and forth with a fighter, maybe then there's not much cheating. But definitely when he's going for the kill and finishing his opponents, I'm just really sick of him trying to cheat. Not even trying to cheat, he is cheating. The back of the head shots, and if he keeps doing this, he genuinely needs to get, I don't know, man. I'm just getting sick of it. The amount of back of the head shots, the amount of cheating this guy's doing. He's a dirty fighter. He needs to learn from it. He's one of the best strikers in the world, and he's still doing this stuff like this, so that's the first reason I don't like Ciryl Gane as a fighter. It's the fact that he cheats in nearly every single fight. And it's not like it was a one-off. Maybe in one of his fights he got, a little bit of a back of the head shots here and there and that was it, which is still bad. He doesn't learn from it. It's in nearly every fight now that he finishes, so that's one thing I don't like about Ciryl Gane. The fact that he cheats in nearly every single fight and it's just not satisfying seeing him get a finish. It's never like he's slumping opponents. It's just messy back of the head shots, hammer fists, clear hammer fists to the back of the head as well. Like, you can't just accidentally get a clear hammer fist to the back of the head. Next reason I don't like him as a fighter is that he doesn't improve his wrestling. Now, it kind of seems a bit harsh, there's various fighters that don't improve the wrestling. This isn't just a case of, Justin Gaethje got submitted by Khabib, or why hasn't Justin Gaethje learnt wrestling, or, Volkanovski gets taken down by Islam. Ciryl Gane, you can't just look at his wrestling and say that there's been any real improvement. I know he's fought on Jones, but Francis Ngannou ragdolled him for fight. I know that was the first time he ever fought a striker, a grappler that was not really known for his grappling, but even in the Jones fight, he's got some of the worst wrestling in the heavyweight division. And before any of you bring up Sergey Spivak and say, oh, Ciryl Gane survived against Sergey Spivak, so surely his wrestling's improved. First of all, Sergey Spivak was a punching bag in there. Sergey Spivak didn't want to fight. He was a pure punching bag. Second of all, Sergey Spivak's never been a double leg, single leg type of wrestler. He's always been, he'll get you in the clinch and drag you down, let you back up and drag you back down, and he was just never able to get Ciryl Gane in the clinch. If Jailton Almeida was to run into this guy, and by the way, that could be a very, very possible matchup considering Aspinall's now the interim champ. If Jailton Almeida runs into this guy, Ciryl Gane is done. He doesn't improve his wrestling. That Jones took him down immediately and ragdolled him. Surely you've learned some takedown defense since the Ngannou fight when you got ragdolled for 5 minutes straight. Fumbled his first title fight against Ngannou and then wrestled to death and submitted in just over a minute by Jon Jones. And I feel like he just he's really arrogant with it. I'm sure he's improved his grappling at least somewhat since the Jones fight, but I feel like he just relies too much on his jiu-jitsu because he's not got terrible jiu-jitsu. It's not like he's completely done when it comes to grappling. It's mainly his wrestling that lets him down, but he needs to start learning how to defend a takedown. He needs to start really learning the full MMA rather than just the striking part. But yeah, that's another thing. I don't like the fact that he's too arrogant to improve his wrestling in training. Now we're going to talk about why I don't like him as a person. Things that he says, things that he does, the choices that he's making. Why do I not like Ciryl Gane as a person? Well, first of all, ducks Aspinall for being ranked lower than him, and now immediately wants him because of the belt. A couple of weeks ago, Mike just fell off there, sorry. A couple of weeks ago, Aspinall's in Paris, calls him out after he just beat Spivak. Doesn't want to fight Aspinall because he's ranked lower than him and he's trying to chase the belt. Fair enough. Now Aspinall's the interim champion, you immediately want to fight with him. It's just irritating. Why do you get to pick? Why are you picking and choosing who you want to fight? He also ducked Pavlovich as well because Aspinall said multiple times that, there was a lot of names that turned down Pavlovich, and I'm not going to say names, but let's be honest. Ciryl Gane was definitely one of the names that turned down Pavlovich. If it wasn't for a belt, it just gets to the point where if it's not for a belt, he doesn't want to do it. This guy's he's been gifted title shots. He's fumbled 2 title shots. Why should you be getting an immediate title shot after beating Sergey Spivak? He should have had to face Aspinall, and then he turned down Aspinall, so now he's going to have to fight Jelton Almeida. Who else is there for him? A rematch with Volkov, Curtis Blades? Like, who else is there for him? He should not get an immediate fight with Aspinall. He turned down Aspinall in Paris. He said he's ranked lower than him, so he doesn't want to fight. So now that Aspinall's now the interim champion, you shouldn't be able to fight him. You should have to face Jelton Almeida. You shouldn't be able to get one win and then immediate title shot. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but yeah, I just don't like the fact that he ducked Aspinall. He even ducked Pavlovich as well. There were times when Pavlovich Aspinall was saying, and I know Aspinall might not be the most credible source, but Aspinall was saying that there were various people in the heavyweight division who he's not going to name who ducked Pavlovich, and I've got I have reason to believe that Ciryl Gane was definitely one of them. But yeah, you don't really deserve the Aspinall fight now. Go and fight Jelton Almeida. Stop being so arrogant. Even before the interim champ, though, why would you turn down Aspinall, one of the best fights in the heavyweight division, just because you're only going up? I mean, how selfish is it? I mean, you're not the only one in the heavyweight division. UFC aren't prioritising Ciryl Gane. In fact, they don't want you as a champion. You got ragdolled by Jones. It's going to be a bad look if you're the heavyweight champion. Next reason I don't like him as a person is he had the luckiest opportunities for the belt and fumbled both of them. This kind of ties in with my last point. This guy, Ciryl Gane, might have had one of the luckiest title runs, not even title runs, title shot runs ever. He gets a title shot the original time by beating Derek Lewis. If you beat Derek Lewis and get a title shot, I mean, that's like Jelton Almeida getting an immediate title shot now. Beating Derek Lewis for a title shot, and then your second title shot, after you'd already been destroyed by Francis Ngannou, was a win over Taito Ivaza that you barely beat him, by the way. It took you 3 rounds to beat both of them. 3 rounds to beat Taito Ivaza, and you get another title shot from that. Taito Ivaza's on a 3-fight losing streak, I believe, right now, all by way of finish. We're talking about Ivaza being matched up against a Marcin Tybura. He had 2 of the luckiest fighters to get a title shot from. Aspinall's just beaten Sergey Pavlovich, and he's still not getting an undisputed title shot because UFC really wants Stipe to become champ. So he's had 2 lucky blows, failed them both, and it wasn't just like he got lost them both closely by decision. He got absolutely ragdolled by Ngannou and submitted by Jones in a minute. And like I said in my previous point, you've got a win over Sergey Spivak that he took you 2 rounds. By the way, Aspinall beat Spivak in 1 round, so he's one-upped you there. But yeah, you get a title shot against Spivak by beating him. Not against Spivak, but from beating Spivak. And you think you deserve a title shot at least. You think you deserve a title shot from beating Spivak. No, you don't. You need to get another win. You need to get a win over Jelton Almeida, in my opinion. He's had the luckiest title shots, didn't learn from his mistakes against Francis Ngannou, and now he thinks he can call the shots. You have had an extremely lucky run, and you still found a way to fumble it. Now it's time to put you against proper competition in Jelton Almeida, and that is why I don't like Ciryl Gane. Let me know your thoughts on him, but I'm just really starting to dislike him as a fighter and as a person. If he stops picking and choosing who he wants to fight and he just gets on with it, and maybe he clears up the cheating and he does in the octagon, maybe then I'll start respecting this guy more. But right now I'm just starting to dislike him. Let me know your thoughts on him, and thank you for watching.